I sent an email
Yeah.
with various details. I'm not sure what else you'd like to know or what you'd like to know about that.
Yeah, I looked at your mail on the upgrade process.
Uh-huh.
We After we got the accounts to REDCap Consortium, we were able to download the, the updated or the new version of REDCap. So maybe we may have a preview on, but the description was good. I think it's only that we have not done it before. So maybe a preview on what the description was, so that maybe you can clarify on a few other issues that we need to take care of as we upgrade.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't catch everything you said. Are you saying you want me to say what I wrote?
No, I said the summary you gave was okay.
All right.
So maybe you can just summarize on a few things, maybe the preparation stage and what we need to do. As I said, we have already downloaded the new version of REDCap. So,
well, do you have a test instance?
We don't have one yet, but we'll be working on that because we have a VM. So we'll be setting up another VM server so that we can set up another instance of REDCap.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell me what you understand of how you would do an upgrade?
So as you may know, we have not done a REDCap upgrade before, but we've been doing MRS. Here in Ambat we use MRS, Ambat Medical Record System. We have done several upgrades before. We know the basic preparations we need to put in place, but we'll be doing REDCap for the first time. That is why maybe a brief on what we need to take care of, in addition to what you gave.
Okay, well, there shouldn't be anything in addition to what I gave. So was there anything in what I gave that didn't make sense or that you'd like clarification on?
Yeah, I think most of the things you gave were, of course, it was making sense. We only need to test it, until we test it and make sure it's working. But it was very clear. Maybe the next steps will be to set up a test instance, and then we test using the information you gave, so that we see where we get a hitch.
Okay.
Maybe this meeting should only be a brief description on what we need to take care of. Maybe we need to pack up. I know for we need to pack up. Maybe create an instance, and then we start the upgrade process as per your outline.
Okay. So, I mean, what would you like me to do now? I'm happy to help. I just don't know what you want.
So, so can I just say something? Maybe it would be helpful, Augustine, that you guys have a server set up and then also back up the database before actually even to set up a session. You already downloaded the latest version. So I think we just want to list out the preparations before the actual upgrade can happen, and then maybe we can schedule another call with Andy, and then so that Andy can walk us through each step to make sure that we're not doing anything, inappropriate.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. Given that we have the version, maybe it would be nice for us to set up a test environment, and then using what he gave us, we will be able to see where we have a problem, and then we can organize a call, because we will have to test the upgrade first before we go to the actual upgrade. So after we have tested, I think that will give us maybe some questions that we need to ask.
Okay. Do your virtual machines have the ability to take snapshots?
Sorry?
Do your virtual machines have the ability to take snapshots?
Snapshots. No, we can just use our mobile phones to take some snapshots on the processes.
That's not what I mean. I don't mean photos. That's not what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
It's kind of like a snapshot of the current database. I mean, the whole instance.
Right. Like our virtual machines allow us to do something called taking a snapshot, which is a point-in-time copy of the entire computer, so that if something goes wrong, we can revert to the snapshot.
Okay, we have not done it before, but what we do when we back up, the most important thing for me is we just back up the MySQL database as a whole, the folder itself. So maybe there are other applications we need to take care of. Maybe that is what we have not done before.
I'm not sure I'm getting my idea across, so please bear with me as I try again. I do think that what you're saying about backing up the database and maybe even making copies of other things on the server, those are very, very good ideas and may be essential. What I'm suggesting is that if you're using a virtual machine, you may be able to save yourself the trouble of doing all of that by using what's generally called a snapshot of the entire virtual machine.
So are you referring to a mirror of the setup? It's just like mirroring the setup, so that we have a replica of the same setup.
Probably yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
What are you using for your virtual machines? Is it VMware?
It's VM, yes.
But is it VMware?
Yeah.
VMware.
Yes, VM. Yes.
Now, I'm not sure we're saying the same thing. VMware is a company. Thank you, Ada. Ada typed it in.
Yeah, we use that one, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know if you're using the enterprise version of it?
No.
Okay. Well, I know the enterprise version has this ability to take snapshots, but I don't know about the other versions. So you may only be able to make a mirror, which is not bad. The mirror allows you to, you can throw away the thing that's gone bad, and you could just use the mirror copy that you've made, which is fine. So anyway, it's just an idea about an easy way to make your backups.
Yeah. So I know we can create we can just create another copy of the setup. That one I know we can do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know how to? I'm sorry. Please don't take any of my questions as offense. I just don't know what you know. I don't. Do you know how to take a file of SQL commands and run them against your MySQL database?
Can you repeat that?
Well, I'll just say the same words, and then if that's not enough, I'll try to restate it. It's not SQL dump, exactly. But if you have a set of SQL commands, do you know how to use the command line SQL program to run all of those SQL commands instead of having to retype them?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, because we are using MySQL anyway. We are using MySQL in our MRS. We know how to run the commands.
Okay.
We can source. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ada, should I just be typing?
No, I think just like for note purposes, it's okay. I think it's good to discuss. Yes.
Okay. All right. So when you're doing the REDCap upgrade, there's going to be a point where it gives you a bunch of SQL that you need to run.
Sure.
And I probably said it in the notes I sent, but in case I didn't, you're almost certainly going to want to actually run those against the command line instead of using something like PHP myadmin to run them.
Okay.
That's all. As I say it, I remember, I'm pretty sure I wrote that, but I was just trying to think of useful things to add since we're on the phone together. Still there?
Hello. Are you
Hi.
there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So what did you say?
What was the last thing you heard?
Yeah, there is I think a connection problem. So you break up.
Right. What was the last thing you heard?
Yeah, you're asking whether we are able to run the SQL dump. I said we do. We
Yeah.
can do that. And you said you gave a script, a dump script that SQL script that we can run.
Right. When you upgrade REDCap, you click a button in the control center to say I want to upgrade.
Sure.
And it generates a bunch of SQL.
Okay.
And you should copy and paste that into a file and run it from the SQL command line.
Okay.
You might be tempted to run it in something like PHP myadmin, but you shouldn't do that because PHP myadmin will basically it will time out.
Okay. So
that I don't know. That's just one tip. It was in the stuff I sent anyway, so I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I would love to be helpful, but maybe we should reschedule after you've had a chance to try and upgrade on a test server. If you have any problems, it may go very smoothly.
So I'm saying we have not tested that. We just downgraded we downloaded actually the new version. We have not tested it. What you are saying is that we can go to PHP admin and try to run the script, but we should not do that. Where else?
Just do it in command line.
Yeah, command line is the best for us.
Good. Yes.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, go ahead.
So when do you think you'll test it?
We need to set up another VM, maybe Monday.
Okay.
And then by Tuesday we'll have tested.
Great.
Yeah.
I tell you, REDCap upgrades are really easy.
Okay.
And I say that having been responsible for upgrading other things.
Okay.
We have another service here that I'm responsible for upgrading, and it's a multi-month process, and it's very hard. And REDCap is very, very easy. You copy a directory into the right place, you go to the control center and say, I want to upgrade. It gives you SQL, you run the SQL. That's it.
Yeah, just that?
Just that. Now,
so what about the version we downloaded from the consortium? Are we supposed to use that? Are we using that to install some maybe new PHP application? Like what we do in MRS upgrade, we have to upgrade the MySQL version maybe from 5.1 to 5.5 or 5.6. We need to upgrade the maybe Tomcat, something like that. This version, are we going to install it before we run the SQL dump, or what is?
This is a good point. I have never had to worry about the version of MySQL or PHP, so so that is something you should look into. It didn't occur to me to worry about, and I'm not sure where you need to look to find out what the lowest version that the latest software handles is. Hopefully, in the software you downloaded, there's some sort of a README which tells you that. I could poke around and see if I see something like that. Let me see. I have a window open to our test server here. What version did you download?
It's asking which version we downloaded.
Yes.
Is the I think it's the latest version. I maybe have to check that first.
Did you get a standard version or an LTS version?
The other one.
I'm sorry?
I'm talking about the latter.
The latter one.
Yeah.
So you got an LTS version. So you probably got 6.5.5 or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I don't see anything in the upgrade instructions about what the minimal versions you need are.
So, maybe
yes?
it will be helpful for you to tell us what's the difference between the standard and the LTS version.
Is that something that would be helpful, Augustine?
Yeah, yeah. As I've said, since this is the first upgrade in REDCap we are doing, it's important we know everything, so that next time we won't have to ask the same questions.
That's okay. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't something you knew already. The standard version comes out every couple weeks, and it has new functionality and bug fixes.
Okay.
LTS stands for long-term stability,
Yeah.
which may or may not be a good description, and it comes out every couple of weeks, but it only has bug fixes. So every 6 months, they make a new LTS branch, if you will, from whatever the then standard is, right? So whereas the standard versions might go 6.1.1, 6.2.0, 6.2.1, 6.3.0, 6.4.0, right? The LTS versions are like 602, 603, 604, 605, 606.
Sure.
So 6 months worth of LTS versions will all fall in between two standard versions in terms of functionality.
Okay.
So the LTS is like for more frequent, smaller fixes or upgrade, and then the standard is like a bigger, include much more, fixes and features. And
that's not how I would say it. In the standard version, you are getting new functionality all the time, which means you're also getting new bugs all the time.
Okay.
So the reason we use LTS here is so that our users don't have to worry about having all those new bugs all the time.
Sure, sure.
Usually, so it means we get the functionality later, right? It can be 6 months after people at other institutions have gotten the functionality that we get it, but we get 6 months worth of bug fixes too.
Actually, it's better so that we don't have to be fixing issues all the time. We need to have something stable that people can work with for some time. That makes a lot of sense.
The reality is there's still bug fixes that come out even for the LTS version. And what we do is we take a look at them and we have to make a judgment call about whether we think it matters, that particular bug, to our users. And we apply about half of them.
Okay.
And every now and then a security fix comes out, right? Even on the LTS standard. So, ideally you would apply all the security fixes and whichever one of the other bug fixes you want. And when I say bug fixes, there's no patching system in REDCap.
Yeah.
You just get a new version of REDCap. But it's really, really easy to upgrade from one version of REDCap to another.
Okay.
And you can upgrade from any version of REDCap to any later version of REDCap.
Okay, that's important.
Yeah, it's the same process. It's very simple. You go to the control center. Well, first you have to copy the new software you've gotten into your web directory.
Yeah.
And then you go to the control center, and it detects that there's a newer version there than what you're running, and it asks you if you want to upgrade to it. And you click the button if you want to upgrade, and it will go and it will check to see if you have various requirements. I think it checks the PHP version and the MySQL version there, though I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
And then it will say, okay, here's the SQL you need to run to finish your upgrade.
Sure.
And then after you run the SQL, it will actually automatically detect that you've run it because there's some JavaScript running on the upgrade page that is constantly pinging the database to see whether or not you've run your SQL.
Yeah.
It will then go and run a bunch of other checks, and one of the checks it runs is whether or not your SQL schema has the correct structure after you've done the upgrade.
Okay.
And if it detects that you don't, it will warn you and say, you need to run this other SQL.
Okay.
This almost never happens to us because we've been regularly upgrading and we haven't made any changes. But there have been other sites that for one reason something has gone wrong, or they've been playing with their database and didn't even realize they messed something up, or whatever, and they've had this nice little thing say, oh, here, let us automatically fix it for you. So it's really pretty smooth. But you are upgrading through enough versions that you're going to have a lot of SQL to run. So, if anything at all could go wrong, you've got, something like 30 or 40 versions of REDCap that you're upgrading past, and you're going to get the SQL for every single one of them. So it could take you a while to run.
Okay.
Do you know how big is your instance? How many projects? How many users?
The size of the database?
No, I mean the size of the database is kind of interesting, but do you know how many projects and users you have?
I think there are more than 12 different projects, but some are very new. They don't have a lot of data.
Did you say 30?
We have over 12. 12.
I'm sorry. What number are you saying?
I'm saying we have over 12 projects, different projects.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Your SQL is not going to take very long to run.
Okay.
Sorry, we have 3,000. So ours, when they need to change things in the database, we have something like 5 million log records. So it can take a very long time. But it doesn't sound like yours is that big, so it may not take very long.
Yeah.
Good.
So that's good. Sounds good.
Yeah.
So I think what we need to do now is maybe to plan a way forward, because it's taken some time before this upgrade will be happening. Maybe in the coming days we need to say, for example, that we upgrade maybe after maybe 6 months or a year. It will be better, because what I remember, since we ever installed this version we are using, this is the first upgrade we are going to have. And we don't want to wait until users start raising questions. Maybe through the consortium.
I know that you have limited time down there, and you have to be very careful about what you decide to do or don't do. In an ideal world, you would be, every time a new version comes out, taking a look at it and deciding, is this a security fix? If so, we better upgrade it.
Sure.
And if not, are there users who are relying on this? Well, then maybe we need to upgrade it anyway.
Yeah.
I see the numbers, Ada. Thank you. Or whoever, I guess it was Ada. But at a minimum, you should probably be upgrading to every LTS branch, which is every 6 months.
Okay. Yeah. Sure, I think that's...
Yeah, just because if nothing else, you'll get all the security fixes from the previous 6 months.
Okay.
And there haven't been any major security problems. I've continued to be amazed at how responsive the creators of REDCap at Vanderbilt are to fixing anything quickly, and particularly security things. I've had situations where we've done an application security scan here as part of our normal process, and we've come up with a sort of obscure, minor, probably not a big problem, sort of thing, and I send it to them, and the next day they're like, "Oh yeah, you were right. We've got that patch now." And there's more than 1,000 sites in the consortium now, and many of them have a standard process of doing security scanning of the application. So REDCap is the people at Vanderbilt running REDCap are getting these kind of reports all the time. I actually had one case where the REDCap software had fixed a major sort of security bug that was so new that when I told our security office about it, they hadn't heard of it yet. And then they got the announcement that afternoon over the places that they get it from. So anyway, that may not be necessary. But
users may not be. Most users may not be aware of some of these issues, because what they are interested in is to be able to get their data, get their projects working. Maybe we'll have to take up that responsibility as the people are administering this system, to make sure that all these security features are fixed as timely as possible. I think we'll take it upon ourselves to make sure that we patch up with some of these features whenever they come up.
Yeah. But part of what I'm saying also is that if, in the worst case scenario, you can only do it once every 6 months, you're still going to be pretty safe. You're going to be really safe. So I do feel bad that I don't have an answer for you about what version of PHP and MySQL you need. It doesn't seem to be in the README. Oh wait. No, there isn't a README. There's just a license and upgrade instructions. It doesn't appear to be in the upgrade instructions. That's disappointing. So I want to see if I can quickly, while we're talking, find the place on the consortium that tells us. So please bear with me as I navigate there. Do you know what versions of PHP and MySQL you currently have?
I know we have, maybe I need to confirm that also. Feel free.
Okay. Let's see. Does the Google Hangout give me a way to share my screen with you?
Yeah, you can.
Yes, you roll your cursor to the left side, and then there's an icon, the green monitor with an arrow.
Okay.
And then click on that, you can share your whichever application.
Okay. All right. Do you see a web page that says it's the REDCap wiki?
Yes. Yes, we can.
All right. So you can watch me try to find this information. But presumably somebody there saw this wiki because you went to the download page. So you've at least come here. But this is the place where you would find technical information. And then the other thing is, I don't know if you've gotten on the Google group for REDCap administrators.
Yeah.
It's a pretty high traffic group, but there are a lot of very helpful people on it.
Okay.
It is the most helpful IT community I've ever been a part of.
Okay.
You can get answers to anything.
There's a lot of activities. I just joined like 1 or 2 days ago. I received like tons of emails through the listserv.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. This is just the download. There should be something here, I would think, that would tell us what the requirements are. We'll try the startup guide for new sites. Well, here's the third-party software required for REDCap.
Okay.
So PHP 5 and up, I'm betting you've got that.
Yeah.
And MySQL 5, I bet you have that too.
Sure.
So it looks like, unless this is out of date, which would be disappointing, that you can run this on relatively old PHP and MySQL. I doubt they've updated this anytime soon, so if you're running any version of REDCap, which you are, I bet you could run the current version as well. I do wonder though if I've said recently how easy it is to upgrade REDCap. However, this occurs to me now that I think about the fact that you're upgrading through so many different versions.
Yeah.
Occasionally there's an extra step. And I don't know if they collect what all of those extra steps are anywhere. And when I say an extra step, it'll be, well, we need you to add this extra file to a part of the web space that doesn't normally change between upgrades.
Okay.
And I think it's a really interesting question as to how you would know to do that. I'm not sure where it would say to do that, because it happens really rarely, right? It's only happened 2 or 3 times, but it's certainly happened since the version you're running on. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to send a question to the REDCap list, and I'm just going to ask this question: how would we know if there were extra things to do? I think you said you're running on like 4.14.1 or something like that. So if you're looking at the list, then you'll be able to see the answer. But I'll also try to send the answer along to the emails that we share.
Okay.
Well, so how do you feel about the upgrade now?
Hello. So I can see. Are you logged in command line? I can see.
Yeah.
So by the way, do you have to choose a particular database to upgrade, or you just once you are logged into MySQL, you just source the file directly?
You know what? Let's see if I can show you what it looks like. Okay, so you can see my screen. I am logging into one of our test servers.
Okay, yeah, so I can see.
Yeah, I'm clicking on the control center.
Yeah.
Okay. It's telling me that the cron job is not running on our test server because we don't want the cron job to run on our test server.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to pretend as if I were upgrading REDCap.
So you have gone to the terminal?
Well, I will go to the terminal in a second, but first I'm going to download a new version of REDCap.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and download the upgrade package for 6.5.5. I don't know if you can see me pointing at it or not.
Yeah.
Okay, so that has downloaded it to this file right here, right?
Yeah.
But that file is not on my test server.
Okay.
This is my test server.
Okay.
So I'm going to copy that file from where it was to where I am. Okay, so now REDCap 6.5.5, this zip directory is here.
Okay.
Okay, now there's, everybody has their own way of doing things. I have a particular process I go through to unzip this, which involves creating a subdirectory. I'm taking maybe more steps than you strictly need, so take this with a little bit of caution, if you will. So I'm gonna copy that zip file into this new little directory I've created. Okay, so now I just have a zip file here, and I'm going to unzip it. Okay, so with my new software 6.5.5, I have my REDCap zip file, which I started with, and then I have these other three things, which is a license file, the upgrade instructions, and then the actual software itself.
Okay.
Okay. So now I'm going to change over into my web space.
Do you have to be, so you have to be root, or?
We've set these up so that I don't have to be root, but that has to do with your permissions in your web space.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so you can see that there's a lot of directories here for various versions of REDCap.
Yeah.
Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy in the latest one we just got. Okay, so if I now list my latest directories, you can see the last thing I've copied in here is 6.5.5.
Yeah.
Okay, when I go back to the control center, refresh the page, it detects that the code is there.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And if I click this, it says, here's the SQL you would need to run to upgrade.
Okay.
Notice this line up here where it says, I don't have to take REDCap offline to upgrade. You're not going to get that. Because you're making so many changes to REDCap, it's going to tell you need to take it offline.
Yeah.
Right? And it tells you, it has a nice little button here for downloading the upgrade script. And it even talks through how to use the command line to do this upgrade.
Yeah.
And you can see that for this upgrade, this is a very minimal upgrade, and it's not actually doing anything. All it's really doing is stating that I've changed from 6.5.3 to 6.5.5. It's not changing the schema at all. So all of the changes for this version were code changes.
Okay.
So now you've seen what it looks like.
Let us see.
Yeah, I'm not actually going to run this upgrade because I don't want to, but that's the general idea.
Okay. Yeah, I can see.
Anything else, Augustine?
I think, the steps seem to be clear. The best will be for us now to set up the new instance Monday. Then I can test. Maybe if we have any hitches, we can organize a code like this on Tuesday.
Sounds good.
Yeah. But this looks very, very easy actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't tell my bosses. They think I work hard.
Sure.
Okay. Well, I wish you good luck then.
So Andy, before we get off from this, I just have a quick question. So in our MPAP instance, we when we create a account for the user, it's supposed to have the feature that it can send an email automatically to the new user about the new account setup and all those things. However, like our instance, it cannot send a message every time. We have to do it manually. Is that a way that how can we fix that issue?
Well,
that's a good question, Eda. I think that's good. Actually, I think initially this email used to work, but it reached a point it stopped working. So
can you send email from the server at all?
I don't know. Like I think Augustine was right. It used to be able to send, and then it stopped doing it. I think it's probably after that. You remember one time of those VM issues, Augustine, you remember like in general all the VM got into trouble, and then when we finally recovered that, and after that we're not able to send the email out.
Well, my guess is that it's not a REDCap problem, that it's an operating system problem.
Yeah,
so that's why I was asking if you can send an email at all. I mean, outside of REDCap, can you send an email from that server?
I haven't tried yet. Maybe we should test it first.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it seems extremely unlikely to me that the problem with sending email from REDCap is REDCap's problem. It's much, much more likely that it's something having to do with the server's ability to send email.
Good point. So, Augustine, that's something maybe we need to look at that as well, because, like for example, it will be really handy when you want to send a message saying that your system upgrade, and then it will be not available between this time and this time, so that we don't have to do it manually.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So I think, and we really appreciate. I hope you have a few minutes on Tuesday. Hopefully, we will not have major issues. Maybe we can just link up on Tuesday so that we can see what needs to, anything that will be a challenge to us.
I will warn you that my Tuesday morning is full, so I won't be able to do it on my Tuesday morning.
Ada, what do you think?
I think it would be helpful to have Andy, especially for the first time for us to do it. So, Andy, which morning would work better for you next week?
I actually think you should try it without me, and I don't mean to be rude or difficult.
Oh, sorry. But I know I'm mixing up. I mean, like for the test server upgrade, I think Augustine and I can do it together, so that we can just do it ourselves. But to see any surprises or anything like that. But on the actual, when we make sure there's nothing, everything works nice and smooth, and then when we get ready to do the actual upgrade, I still prefer Andy just to watch us doing it.
Sure.
I am really, really careful, yeah.
Sure, so it's important anyway, because we have a number of projects, and data is very, very critical, and that's why for the first time, we have to make sure that we are doing it right, and then subsequently, I know it will not be a challenge.
Well, I tell you what, before we decide whether or not I'm going to watch you do it, let's find out how long it takes. Okay? Because I don't necessarily want to commit to doing that if the upgrade takes 6 hours.
That makes sense. How about we just do it first and then we share with you what we did?
I think that's a great idea.
But
I don't mean to say, I'm not saying categorically no. I do want you all to have a success.
We understand.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so
You're
much,
welcome.
Andy.
Good luck. Look forward to hearing how it works out.
Sure. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.